Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to the Hills of Tuscany as I continue working on level 6 for the VIPs. If you're new to the series, we're centered around the VIP order manager, and right now I'm working on trying to get all of these things taken care of. So I just planted this field 77 and 7 with canola. So I'm waiting for that to get going. And then we have fried potatoes and milk and tomatoes. Tomatoes, I know we're not anywhere near getting done. We might have a truckload though, or a good amount, so might take a look at that. Alright, so we're getting pretty full. Getting a good amount of lettuce, which is something we're going to need in the future. But at this point, I think we're in good shape to keep moving there. So nothing we need to do on the tomatoes right now. And the milk, we need 77,000. And we've got some food left, so we need a little over 300 liters. I think we're going to finally be there. So we should be able to get some milk delivered soon. Alright, and right now it looks like we've got things being processed, so looks like we've got, what, 16,000 liters of potatoes. We're obviously outputting fried potatoes here, they're stacking up. Key is the production limitation is vegetable fat. So it's created some vegetable fat, but we need to only put a pallet back in once it runs low, otherwise it just spits it right back out. So it's 700 per, we need 23,000, so we basically have about 7,000, so got a long way to go there as well. So I could continue to move forward and wait, or I could try to at least make some progress on other things. So what I'm going to do, because my hope is that I've estimated and gotten enough on the canola. Let's go check both the cloves and the olive oil. Alright, so it looks like we've got some fabric that I can move, so because I think I'm going to need a little bit more, because we don't have another pallet of clothing out there, so that is going to be a bit of a problem. So let's see here. We will get that going, picked up. It's still producing more fabric. It may come out with another pallet, it may not. I don't think I need more than this. But I'll be able to get this over here, and then we'll take a look at where things stand. There we go. You can see it peeling away the fabric. Alright, so we're going to have that soon. We need, well, we should have it soon, I should say. I guess we're going to find out. We might need one more set of fabric there. So, what have we got? Getting kind of low. So let's take a look. It's 2 to 1. So, yeah, we're going to need one more set, which means I need another thing of wool. We're not going to have enough there. So, because this is going to produce about 500, so I need 2,000 more liters of wool. So I'm going to hop over here, and we're going to head back to the farm, and we're going to grab ourselves 2 more pallets, and we should be good there. But then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plant the rest of the fields in either spelt or triticale. I'll probably just do the one that's top of the list, because I think I'm going to need more than one set of fields to get the orders done. But in the interim, I can grow it and then harvest it. So once I move the wool, I'm going to do that. And we'll talk about, you know, things once we're there. So let me get wool over to the spinnery, and then I will get over to a field and we'll get going on our planting. So I'll see you in a bit. So before I plant, I'm going to go ahead and get this harvester off the field, because I'm going to need to do that at some point, so I might as well clean up now. So this has become part of my challenge right now, is trying to effectively move forward with the VIP orders, but there's just so much to do that I kind of, you know, leave implements laying around sometimes, you know, maybe more than I should. But I'm going to get this taken back. The bigger problem I have is I've still got 1,200 liters of wheat here in the hopper, but we'll dump that directly into the silo. I should be able to do that, I think. Not done that yet, so we'll bring you along for that exercise, and we'll see how things go. And more importantly, I am nearly out of fuel. So before I run into that problem, which will be a fun problem all on its own, I really should move this, but hey, it's fun just doing all that, right? Alright, so let me fill up, because for the next harvest I definitely won't have enough. Alright, so we are full. We're also getting a bit stuck. Farm is always fun to maneuver around, I will tell you that. I'm really half tempted to sell that biogas facility, because I don't know that we're going to end up using it in any way here. Alright, so I'm going to try this. I'm not sure if the trees are going to get in the way. Thinking they might. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, they will. Interesting that one way it didn't, and then the next way it did. So I think if I'm going to take advantage of farming simulator physics, where, oh, no, I guess maybe I won't. I was going to say, it looks like it's going to let me place it. Oh, so close. I just needed to kind of go through the tree once. Well, what if I do, let's see, maybe I can make it work this way. It's a lot of effort. Let's just be honest, it's a lot of effort. Really trying hard. Because at this point it's kind of like I just want to do it. There we go. And whoops, whoops, whoops. Don't. No, oh no. Alright, got myself out of that predicament. And sometimes the fun we have here in Farming Simulator, so hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Alright, so we're going to go with triticale. So we're going to open this up. I think I can plant that with this planter. Yep, there we go. So I am going to go ahead and get myself filled up. And then we're just going to start right there on field 9, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we've got the fertilizer full, and at some point the seeds will be fillable. There we go. So we are full. But yeah, we're out here in the fall, and shadows are long right in the morning. So definitely shorter days. All kinds of fun that way. We'll hide our big menu so that we can enjoy the visibility a lot more. This is always fun, rather than getting out and having to move it. I'll see if I can hopefully get clear here. I think we're good. Alright, we are out of the farm. So, if you're wondering why I don't have a bigger planter, you've just seen why. But at this point, I have got a good amount of work ahead of me. So I'm going to plant field 9, 8, 6, and 22 for certain. I really should plant 1. I'll probably go ahead and do that as well. And potatoes don't regrow, so I'll probably use field 11 as well. So I am going to start on all that work. It may take me a few months to do this, a few game days. We'll see how it goes, but at this point, we're kind of in a long waiting period. So we'll just go ahead and get that done, and I will see you in a bit. Alright, so I'm back on here early morning. Just left the trailer over in the yard. We'll be back there later with the greenhouses, but I'm heading over to the farm to go ahead and get the tanker and get the milk delivered. We have enough for that to get that completed. So this should be getting our third VIP order of the ones at level 6, the 6 at level 6 that we need taken care of. And then, you know, we'll go ahead. The tomatoes are nearly full. It's always a little hard to see around here. I have been tempted as I've worked the fields that this field to the left here is starting to look really tempting. It doesn't have any fences. It doesn't have any trees. As opposed to field 1, which is almost unusable, frankly. With my planting, I did not plant that one, even though I said I was going to, because I know the output on it is so low, but I can't sell it because it's part of all this. So I would lose my entire farm if I tried to do that. But field 1 is pretty much, at this point, I've decided it doesn't make a lot of sense to waste time using, because it's just so difficult to work. You know, if I have small things, it's one thing, but I don't. So we need to get milk to chocolate production. I have to figure out where that is. Alright, so chocolate production is actually right there. I think I vaguely remember that. So that's that building we drive through to get over to the olive mill. So I believe this is where I get my milk. I hope this is where I get my milk. I think this is actually where I get my milk, but I don't... Can I back a tanker in there? So, because I was kind of hesitant here, because I'm like, this almost looks like a slurry output. So, I guess we'll see if I can back in the tanker there. That would be really unfortunate if I can't fit this in there. Yeah, then we'll just have to kind of fake it, honestly, but goodness gracious. Because, yeah, I'm sure, I think there was like a smaller tanker. Alright, well, I can fill it. There we go. That is how we get the milk, but we just need to get nearby, so that's good. Now, it's a 32,000 liter tanker, so we're going to have multiple loads that we take. Alright, so there we go. And then again, we just need to head out and deliver that. But yeah, the tanker that I think we were offered with the farm was like 8,000 liters or something. It may not even been that large. And so that didn't make a lot of sense to me. So if you go back to the early videos with the setup, this was one of the things that we decided we were going to need on the farm pretty quickly. Now, I have not planted field 11 yet. It got pretty late, so I waited on that. I'll probably come down here and get that done, because there were other fields that I needed to that I was working on after midnight. So as long as I get that planted today, it'll kind of be in the same mold. But the chocolate production is over there to the left. So somewhere in here is where we're going to deliver the milk. So we shall take a look. Let's see. There we go. Start overloading milk. And there we go. So all good stuff. And again, we don't own this because we have not been required to produce chocolate or anything. So the good news is then we get paid, so we finally have income, which has been very, very slow coming. So I am very grateful for that, because keeping the greenhouses going, like I'm putting 8 or 10,000 liters of seed and fertilizer into those things relatively regularly. I don't know that it's a daily basis, but it's, you know, pretty close to that. It seems like I'm doing it all the time. Like I just did it before I jumped back in here. So as I was getting over there by the greenhouses, getting the truck cab to come over here, I realized, you know, I took a look and the lettuce was starting to draw down on the fertilizer. So I bought 3 more bags of that, which was 5,400 euros. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I also had a problem on the other side of the alfalfa field. It may have been okay now. The course play ran into the field, which it doesn't do very often, but the start was like literally in the corner of field 9. And because of how long the implement is, something got confused and it basically started this really slow arc into... I'm going to see if I can come in this way. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this so that maybe I don't need to back up. Because I'm thinking if I swing around here and come in at the right angle, I might be able to get in, but then hit the trigger point, and maybe the trigger point will go in earlier. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. Even better. Because it's not going to show me the eye to dump, because that's not what I'm doing. Alright, so second load. But yeah, I honestly don't recall if I left chocolate as something that could be ordered by the VIPs. I think I did. Because I wouldn't really have a reason to turn it off, although I may have, because I don't do sugar production, and so then there'd not be a way to get sugar, which you need for chocolate. So it's possible that all we'll ever do with the chocolate location is, I kind of felt that was what was happening. Can we see the other side of the alfalfa field? Kind of. I kind of know what I'm looking at as far as where it got stuck. Alright, so clearly I need to loop out a bit more here. There we go. Got a pretty powerful truck, but obviously not powerful enough. So this is absolutely... My goodness. I didn't have any trouble the last time. I don't understand. I guess I was on the field or something, and so maybe it gives me more traction over there, but It doesn't on the road? I don't get it. But yeah, these hills of Tuscany are not forgiving in any way. So I spend a lot of time on this map just fighting it, honestly, with what is happening. So if you've not tried this map, that is my feedback to you. This is not an easy existence here. You know, and that is frankly, because if you are one of the regular viewers and you understand the schedule, which basically is, you know, when I was doing more of the multiplayer farm simulator content before I started moving it to, you know, an episode a year, which now is, you know, putting out episodes every 2-3 weeks, you know, if even, because sometimes, you know, I'll have not participated or something, and because I've been doing other things. So I know the general farming simulator content is more sporadic, but this schedule was set when basically every other day on the channel was farming simulator content. You know, and what I may start doing is doing more map tours or something like that, because I certainly enjoy that. I certainly enjoy discovering and looking at maps and sharing that with people. You know, frankly, my challenge there has been, you know, there's a couple sites that's kind of their bread and butter, and so they literally review every map, and at the end of the day, it's a pretty basic process to do that, and so there isn't a lot of nuance in what I can add. So I just don't know how much interest there would be from folks about that. But you know, I may go ahead still and do that, because I do feel at this point that there's almost not enough farming simulator content so that the folks that do enjoy it, I don't know that this just basically having a weekly series now has been interesting. And I only say that because I've kind of hit what I'd call the treadmill of subscribers, where, you know, again, extremely grateful that I hit 1,000 and passed over, but now I'm kind of, I'm growing much slower. I shouldn't say much slower, but I'm growing slower, and you know, I maybe gain 2 subscribers or 3 and then lose 1. And nobody, you know, it doesn't tell me why they're leaving, they don't say why they're leaving or whatever, but the biggest change has been just in the last month, the every other day farming simulator content stopping. You know what, let me stop, because I only need 77,000, so that means I did 64,000, so I need what, 13,000? I think that's right. I didn't look, I should have been paying attention. So 64, 7, yeah, I like can't do math this morning. Let me just make sure that it's locked in, because lately I've done the limiter and then realized somehow I didn't hit the right key to actually limit things, and then I'm grabbing more than I wanted. And I don't think that was in this series. I think that was just when I was playing some other things, or playing in my FOC, but it wasn't on camera. But I think I went to get some supplies or something, or some TMR, and it set a limit, and suddenly it was like, oh, I'm going over, and then had to manually stop it. But the danger is there, especially with something that fills really slow, like the TMR does. You know, sometimes my attention will go elsewhere. You know, I may actually leave the computer and go do something, knowing that it's just going to stop when it fills up, and not worried about it. So, you know, maybe I'll take that opportunity for a bio break or whatever, but luckily I didn't that time, so I still stopped it relatively close, but you know, there is that danger. But what I was, you know, what really started the conversation about the timing is kind of what I had shared about fighting the map and so forth. I mean, it takes a long amount of time in Farming Simulator for me to get out one episode now. So if you're used to the schedule, this should have dropped early Friday morning. I'm still hoping to get it out Friday. I mean, this is now Friday, but this is like past the time where I'd normally get it out. So I'm literally trying to get the video content together, because I think just showing the planting and talking through that is going to be like a 10-minute episode. So obviously just even adding this, it has helped, but we have now finished with the milk. So, you know, what I'm getting at with all that is I may be at a position where it might even take me longer than a week. Like I might be challenged to maintain the schedule that I'd like to have, which I think is just going to be more frustrating to folks who are looking for content, and maybe discouraging. And I just hope people will stick with it. Like, trust, I am still interested in getting these done. I understand there's a lot of other content coming out. I'm absolutely enjoying those things too, but that I want to assure all the viewers, like, I'm not any less enthused about what I'm doing here in Farming Simulator. It's just, frankly, a lot easier to produce content in a lot of the other things, and so therefore you may see a lot more, because there's frankly a lot less editing and there's a lot less work in between. So if I'm doing a truck sim, which is a good segue from what I'm doing right now, driving a truck here on the farm. I really should have gone the other way. I need to put the tanker away, because who knows when I'll need it again. At this point, this is the first time I've needed it, and I may not need it again for 40 episodes. Who knows? So I'm not going to leave that in the middle of the farm, even though as tempted as I am to just quickly get on to the next thing. That ends up being how I have the problem. I got stuck on that fence, and I knew I needed to back up in a different way to make it into the post there, so... Ah, boy. Come on. Shove it by. It won't. I was gonna say I'm gonna get, like, stuck on a light or something and have to make adjustments, but looks like I was able to get myself free just driving. But something like the truck simulators, for example, other than cutting out the load times for things, like, those are pretty much uncut videos. So it's like once I drive it and record it, I almost do nothing other than get it into the software and throw it out on YouTube. So it's super simple to throw out an episode like that. So for example, I've got Euro Truck, where the timing on the channel every 8 days for each of the trucking series. There's the two of them, so basically there's a truck video every 4 days. The Euro Truck one is due tomorrow, so I literally did that just before I came in here to work on this. And I don't have the video creating yet, but like I know in my checklist of things to do to keep content going for the channel that I have the content, and I know the editing is going to take me all of 5 minutes, and then I'll be good to go after that. Let me go down here. So we're going to go ahead and get to the tomatoes, but at this point, after I do that, you know what, let me go load the tomatoes, because I don't want to just give you a bunch of me driving around and talking just to fill time. I want to give you good quality content, so that you can see me making progress. But at this point, I'm going to go and get the tomatoes loaded, which is going to take a while. And once I do that, we'll go get them delivered, and we'll see how much we got and so forth. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, 1,495. So again, you can see we're 5 liters short technically, because all the pallets, are their output at 500. But this is kind of one of the quirks of Farming Simulator, where you don't always quite get the full amount. But and this is against like 80,000 some liters that we needed. So it's been, you know, sorry, I moved my hand in frustration, put it back on my steering wheel, and hit the button that took me to another screen. But, you know, I think it's been a year or so, or, you know, it's been many months. I mean, we've gone through, we've harvested the wheat, we've delivered that. Am I like, I don't even know where I am. Oh, that's right. I need to get over there. Alright, well, at this point, I'll be good and I'll go on roads. Usually I go through the woods. But at this point, I think I am going to go ahead and wrap this because everything else is for the next level. Like, I'm going to be waiting, and then I'm going to be going into production, into harvest. I'll probably I will go ahead and I will get field 11 planted in Triticale as well before I finish up today. But then I'm waiting. It takes 7 stages for Triticale to grow, so basically, and every crop is like that last stage plus the last, you know, going after again, if that makes sense. So, you know, the challenge being, like, I'm looking at 6 months that I'm just probably going to have to forward through, because right now everything's going. I've gotten the fabric that just finished this morning over to the tailor shop, so that should now have enough wool to finish the clothes, but I don't need the clothes till level 7. So again, I'm in that boat of, you know, I've got things going for the next level, but I'm waiting now on the things for this level. So as we get these tomatoes delivered and drop that down, so that should... Okay, why did it... Alright, so I'm going to leave things in the video, including the fact that I was pulling up and then saying, what? Luckily, I'd saved the game just as I pulled out of the thing. I don't always remember to do that because I'm just kind of in the mode of playing. So you can see I'm back to 14,495. That was the wrong sell point. Like, I do that sometimes because there's so many VIP orders and so many places to go, and then sometimes I forget what something is named. So that was the farmer's market. I need to take the tomatoes to the 0 kilometer shop. And so I share the next piece with you, not so that you can feel sorry for me or as some sort of a complaint or something. Again, I enjoy the game, but there are challenges with it, and again, with trying to get things done and not have, you know, not produce 12 hours of video for basically the 20 or 30 minutes that I normally give you of actual doing something and explaining a little bit of it. You know, this is probably 8 or 10 hours at this point of gameplay that it takes to get one of these episodes out, because I have to move so many days. Because at this point, let me just stop here. If I go back to finish level 6, I'll go off the green ones, because the green ones are done. So I've got 3 of my 6 orders done, but at this point, we got tomatoes. You can see we have 83,000. I have barely 15,000 more on my truck. We're barely going to hit 35,000 now of the 83,000 that we need when I deliver this. We're not even going to get there. I haven't delivered any fried potatoes, but I have less than 10,000 of those. Canola's in the ground. It's growing. Like, at this point, I'm at a cycle, at a level, and this happens sometimes with the VIP order manager, where I've got what I keep calling the long pole in the tent. There's something I'm waiting on that I basically just then can't do anything else. So short of keeping the lettuce running, which I need for level 7, which grows even slower than the tomatoes. So what I don't want to do is, focus on the tomatoes, ignore the lettuce, and then suddenly start growing the lettuce when we finally finish level 6. And then we'll be in the same boat for level 7, as we'll just be sitting there waiting for lettuce. Because at this point, I'm going to have clothes done. Like, I literally move the wool over. And I'm going to be harvesting triticale and spelt in between while I sit here and wait. But what tends to happen is I have so much time waiting for something in a level that I literally get everything else ready for the next level. And so I'm certainly in a position to potentially do that. I don't honestly know that I'm going to get enough lettuce in time, because it's amazing to me how slow the lettuce is going. I think I only have 7,000 or 8,000 liters of lettuce so far in the time I've grown 35,000 liters of tomatoes. But with that said, that's why I'm going to go ahead at this point and wrap this, because otherwise I don't know when I'm going to get you an episode. So it's not that I'm like giving up and giving a half-baked episode. Like, I'm literally at a point where I could be looking at, another dozen hours before I get to be able to show you anything that's happening. Because I may have, get to the point, like, I don't think the potatoes are going to be ready before the canola and the triticale are going to be ready to harvest. And so if that's the case, what that turns into, let me just make sure. Yes, the 0 kilometer shop is there. Alright, I'm going to go around this other way. I'm getting really close to turning the traffic on. I can't tell you how many times in this truck I've gotten nearly stuck to just in this, getting these tomatoes over. I keep it on to give some of a realistic view, but there are some times in a Riverview I ended up fully turning it off at some point for exactly that. So there we go. Because yes, when I pulled up to the farmer's market, I didn't see the VIP order box. I'm like, what is going on? And luckily it's not, and then I'm like, oh goodness, I had saved at least, so I didn't lose my mind, because otherwise I have to go back to whatever the save point is and redo all the work. So sometimes that's what ends up creating a problem. But the situation I'm in right now is I ended up, frankly, forgetting about... Oh, that's right, I can't get out of here, because there's that lip on there, so I have to come out the way I came in. So I guess it's good that I went around this way, because I wouldn't have been able to pull in anyway. I would have turned in there and been stuck. But this is what I talk about with fighting with the map, and it's part of the charm of a sim like this. I mean, that's what we're trying to recreate, is the reality of someone who would be working in this location. What would they have to do if they wanted to use this type of equipment? Like, I'm too large for what this map really is designed for. Oh boy. Oh, that's right, I know what I did. Last time, if you remember, I pulled out between these buildings, so... And there's this little tree there that's going to be in the way. So yeah, this map is like the perfect example of it's just diabolically designed to just really thwart your ability to do anything. What's happening now? Now I'm going forward. It's diabolically designed to just not let you use anything other than small equipment. Because you're just playing these games all the time. But no, I just share all that with you so you understand the reality of the challenges of getting stuff out. So it's not for lack of interest. It's just really, really difficult for a series like this. It's not as scripted as some other things you might see on YouTube from someone like a Daggerwin or a Farm Sim guy, where they've got kind of the storyline, and I've tried those type of things a little bit too, and I'm not opposed to doing it, but once again, those guys are so good at it, and that's what they're known for, that I just feel like I put all that effort in, and I might get a handful of viewers, because the tens of thousands that love that stuff are already in love with those guys, and I'm not going to be able to do better than they do. At best, I might be able to come close to what they do. Alright, you know what? I'm going to let you go here, but basically what I'm getting at, so let me finish the thought, is like, so my focus has been on these VIP series, because I think that's where I can provide some value and so forth. I did come across a mod earlier when I was doing a mods worth noting that is a combination of a couple mods. It's putting years of creation on a vehicle and then enforcing that in a through the years mod and a vehicle year mod. So there are two mods that work together from the same creator that would basically create a situation where, let's say we started our farm in the 1960s, we'd only be able to use equipment that was available to us at that time, and it enforces that in game, and like in the shop you don't see anything else. Like all the current stuff that comes with the game is hidden, and it appears when they're finally available, in the 2000s or something, which means you're playing 40 years with older equipment. I'm just not I think that's going to be too dull of something to begin with. I think that may just best be left to folks who are willing to do that, because even again, I think Farm Sim Guy did a series on his channel recently, Generations, and I think he spent at most 2 episodes in a given decade, which would then again imply that, I suppose, maybe you just don't do anything for 10 years and just speed the game through. You can just keep sleeping, but what's the point then, type of thing. But then doing 40 years of small farm equipment type thing, that might not be really entertaining viewing, or frankly entertaining playing either. So I'm kind of at that point of trying to get more farming simulator content, but having the challenge of even getting you this content, because I need to put in 10-15 hours of gameplay, and then the editing time, doing that in a week along with just trying to enjoy other sims and stuff, it is a challenge. So I'm just being upfront. Right now I'm not giving up yet. I'm working to find a way to make it work, and I think some of it might just be what this level 6 is requiring, because those greenhouses are pretty high maintenance. They run out of seeds and fertilizer relatively frequently. They don't produce as quickly, and then I'm trying to move forward. But the reality is, right now, I'm probably going to be able to grow everything, get the triticale, get the spelt all grown, before we get out of level 6, and so that when we get to level 7, we're then just immediately going to be able to fulfill all those orders, and then we'll see what level 8 and 9 bring after that. But sometimes using the VIP order manager gets you in these spots, and that's part of the fun of it, is like, I can't just say I'm done with the fried potatoes, I've got 7,000 of them. Now again, I can. One of the things I have never done in the series, you can abort the current VIP order, and frankly I've never even tried this in test. Like, I don't know if at this point would it just pay me out for what I have. I know there's a penalty if you do it, so that's partially why I haven't done it. But I don't know if you get a penalty only and then it just moves to the next level, which would seem a little bit pointless. So my goal is to press on, because I don't know if the abort is really just this order. Like, I'd be saying I'm not interested in filling the canola, and it leaves the rest, and then it gives me a penalty for that, but I still have the bonus coming for the others, or what it is. But right now I haven't gone through that, but I need feedback from you guys of how you're feeling about it. So I know I've spent a lot of time bumbling around, and hopefully somebody's still here even listening. If you are, feedback. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how things are going, and just any encouragement or discouragement. Any comments are good. It starts the discussion. But yeah, I don't need the sheep to produce any more wool, so at this point, again, they'll keep producing till they run out of food. This is again how it goes. The goal is to get the VIP orders done, not to keep the farm running perfectly. That's kind of where we're at. But I'm going to go ahead and get that field planted with triticale, and then we'll go from there in figuring out where we start bringing you back in for the next episode. So if you have not dropped a like and you've enjoyed this, opening of the kimono, of how challenging this could be at times, and just enjoyed the video content as always, please drop a like. It helps get the videos out to others. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider doing that. And with that, I will see you next time.